would like to introduce my co-presenter, because no one else had the balls to show up and do it. So, from a land far away and long, long ago, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's a really bad smell. Ladies and gentlemen, Fartman!
Yes, I'm Fartman. Behold, I'm Fartman. I am a superhero, Fartman. Yes, Superman is nothing. I am Fartman. Yes, behold, the most beautiful of sights. It is this. Yes. Yes.
Yes.
I am Fartman. Is the camera getting a good shot of my beautiful ass? Look at it. It has powers. Allow me to demonstrate the greatest farting powers of all. Look at my ass. Touch it for power. Rub it. Rub my ass. Touch it. Get it. Touch it. Yes. You all may be laughing at my ass now, but when my movie, Fartman, becomes #1, all of Hollywood will kiss my ass.
If your friends are nerdy and you are nerdy too, I want to talk to you. Friends talking nerdy.
What you got, Noel?
What's your next one?
Let's see. I'm gonna go to Public Enemy's "Fight the Power."
Ooh.
Yeah, so that song is taken from Spike Lee's "Do the Right Thing," and there are three versions of the video. There's the short version that was put out for MTV. Then is the longer version that has a lot more of the instrumental breaks in the song. The version I like is when Spike did the video, he inserted scenes from "Do the Right Thing" in. Usually from once the slate was clapped, he didn't play them in. So I was watching that last night. I love that video. I love that song, and it's just really Public Enemy's out in Brooklyn on the street, just lip syncing to it, and they're walking down the crowd right behind them with all these images and words, and they're just going at it. And when it's just the song is such a powerful song, but also in the terms of the movie, it's a pivotal song. It's Radio's Raheem song. That's the song he plays when he's walking around the block with his boombox, and when he goes in the cell with him and Bugging Out, and things starts to get really heavy, that song's playing. And for Fire near Portland.
Yeah, something's going on.
See, the last time you did the podcast, the fire truck came as well. You know that, right?
Really?
Yeah.
It's, I don't know. I guess this is a popular neighborhood for bad barbecue stories. Who knows?
It's summer in Portland.
Yeah. But we'd rather have the windows open and not lose 10 pounds from sweating, so we apologize.
Is it still hot and humid, or just hot?
Just hot.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I heard our tomorrow's going to be nice.
Yeah. I heard a little bit of rain. Yeah. That'll be nice.
Yeah, we're getting rain in the morning, but supposedly the temperature's going to drop down to the 80s or 70s, so it's going to be a little more natural. Today wasn't too bad. It wasn't too humid, but the last, 6 to 7 days, or I'll say 10 days, has just been cool.
Yeah.
It's warm.
What do you guys, so speaking of Public Enemy, what do you guys think about what MTV and music videos did to hip-hop? Especially from growing up in New York.
I think there was a time MTV wasn't playing them.
That's true.
They weren't playing them. There was all the videos you saw were of rock bands, like Aerosmith, and you never saw that. I saw hip-hop videos growing up in New York on a show called Video Music Box. There, Ralph McDaniels was, he used to just go around the clubs, and the term shout-out came from his show. So when you hear people saying giving a shout-out, that's where we got from, because he'd be in the clubs with him and a microphone, a guy with the camera, say who you want to shout out, yo, and in the club, I'm shout for that. But I watched that because that's when I saw, hip hop videos, and once Michael Jackson videos started getting played on MTV, then came Prince, and for hip hop, it was one of the ways to get the music out there. You can shoot a video and send it out. There was I remember the box. Like, the box was a pay service. You would watch the videos on the screen. You would call a number, type in the numbers, and then literally they'll charge like 99 cents, and then you see your videos being played.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, it was a pay service called The Box. That was not designed for. Yeah. So, like I said, even if MTV didn't do that, I was watching BET, so BET would show all those artists. So not only were you getting hip hop, we were getting R&B, we were getting soul, and it was a majority. It was all black videos, and that's great. It took MTV a while to break that barrier. But like I said, once Thriller came out, and that opened the doors, and then Prince with Purple Rain, or even before that, once these videos start coming out, you start seeing it on MTV all the time.
Yeah. Even then, though, they did this with other subgenres of music like metal as well, but it still took a long time for genres of music that weren't necessarily as over with the general public as they ultimately became, like metal, like hip-hop, to get the finances to make a proper music video, because a lot of the early hip-hop videos were done on the cheap. A lot of early metal videos were done on the cheap, which was unfortunate, because I think back to when Dr. Dre made his videos for The Chronic, like Nothing But a G Thing and whatnot. Great song, still recorded on the cheap. It wasn't until that I can recall around, I believe it was, and either of you correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it was California 11 from Tupac and Dr. Dre, that was the first hip-hop video I recall seeing where they actually threw some money into the budget to make it look bigger.
Yeah, I had no idea, but I was wondering when you were talking about Public Enemy, I was just wondering about whether or not like that hip hop culture kind of was formed out of the ability to like make these music videos, and then people emulated that, or if the music videos were a result of the way that hip hop culture already was. But they probably grew at the same time. I don't really know. It's interesting.
Yeah,
because so many iconic hip hop music videos. So.
Yeah, because like I said before, Chris, it was the environment. So now you have a new, or not a new move, but you have a medium where we can put a visual story to the song. And let's be honest, it was used to sell units. Oh, yeah. But when you saw the video, you say, oh, wait, this is so-and-so, I get that album. And it kind of did the reverse. I would think the Tribe Called Quest videos were of that good quality. I think, like I said, with big budgets, but it's just about how you shoot them. They're, the mantra. And then you can get more deeper into the 90s with the Super Duper Baller status videos, like the Hype Brilliance. That's a good example of that.
When did the Beastie Boys video come in there?
What video?
License to Ill was 86, 87?
87, and I think the only video from the Beastie Boys, that album, was No Sleep Till Brooklyn.
No,
you got to Fight for the Right to Party.
Yeah.
No Sleep Till Brooklyn. I can't recall a third one or anything like that, but they did they did those two. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we'll move on. My next one is from the Rolling Stones. It's a little video called Worried About You. I was initially going to go with another song from that same album, Start Me Up, because that's honestly one of the first music videos I do remember ever seeing. But Worried About You is really an underrated little jam from them. Kind of a slow mellow, sad breakup type of song. Has some great keyboards from Billy Preston. The song was actually a leftover track from, I believe, 73. They originally recorded it for their album Goat's Head Soup, but it didn't make the cut. But they put it out, and I just love the mood of the video. It's essentially a set in a bar, and Mick Jagger is pretending he's playing the keyboards, even though he's not, trying to do his falsetto singing, which if anybody else tried it, it would come off bad, but he just has the charisma to pull it off. And I don't know, it's just one of those great little sad songs that still have a way of cheering you up at the end.
When you said Stones, I was thinking maybe Start Me Up, but that says 80's.
And like I said, that was my introduction to the Stones. If I remember correctly, the first time I saw that video was age 4. Yeah, aging myself there. But anyway, I don't know. I know, old guy. That's why we're at.
Me too.
Yeah.
We're the old guys telling the kids don't know good music anymore.
That's what's happening.
Back in my day.
Back in my day.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, just a nice little number. Not much more to say about it. It's, again, not their greatest music video ever, but it's a song that's really hit home with me. So,
well, thanks for sharing, Tim.
Yeah. Next one.
Next up, you mentioned in the Prince earlier. I had someone gifted me a Prince box set, so I actually spent a lot more time with Prince than I did with a lot of other 80s artists. And the video for When Doves Cry is just Prince being cool. And I think,
great video.
Yeah, I think it's something about music videos that happened is it allowed for somebody to just be cool. And somebody like Prince, who's an amazing musician, but also just like fucking cool, man. Like, that dude's rad. That's the video that starts off in the bathtub. So you have that iconic image of him like crawling out of a bathtub, looking like super sexy and androgynous. And then he's also because it's like scenes from the movie, right?
Yeah.
And so he's like riding that purple motorcycle around, and just looking so cool. And then he does that thing that he gets off the motorcycle and it's like this lake, and he like looks at the lake and he's all like dreamy, and it's like from behind and just pondering his experience of being so cool.
Why am I so cool?
Why am I so cool? Oh yeah, I'm Prince. I forgot. Yeah, it's just a cool video. I also really like Purple Rain. Purple Rain's a great movie and a great song. But the movie, and I think that whole like dealing with your parents sort of scene that happens in there too. That's in the video, the music video for When Doves Cry. Watch it. It's a good one.
All right, what's your next one, Noel?
Wow, keeping it hip hop that way. I'm gonna go to old school and go to Grandmaster Flash and the Furious 5 and The Message.
Okay.
So, like, one of the cornerstones of hip hop music. The video was shot kind of, low budget. Just had a camera. I think it was shot in the Bronx. So this was like 70s, 80s? Yeah, it's kind of like, 70s, 80s, actually, we'll say. Even though we say 80s, 90s in video, I had to throw that in there because that was one of the first ones. And like I said before, with the medium, you had a chance to really tell your story more. And with this, it came out that way. You had really, you hear the song and the despair going on in the city, and you see it. I mean, growing up in New York, I was like, yep, that's what I saw. But, with when videos came out and it got worldwide, you were able to put this image to the song you were hearing, whether it be on record, or 45 or cassette or 8-track. You were able to really see how they were, putting it together, and it lays out that way. It's a great video. Really, I like videos of that around that time because it was like you said, Tim. It was, let's just do it. This is one of the only ways we know we can get move product but getting a message out there, because now everything's on TV. Everyone's watching MTV. You have VH1. I'm quite sure no matter what city you grew up in, you had a local, video station. Like I said earlier, I had, Video Music Box. And there was I think Friday Night Videos was on, NBC.
Yes.
So in the 80s, this was all out there to compete with MTV, because everybody thought MTV was a joke until it was like, no, they move out. They move. They change. It's a culture changing thing.
It's a culture change. Yeah. I mean, it's all about it changed the way we understood what the kids were doing,
And I think, for me, what I love about videos like that, videos like what NWA put out, videos like it didn't get on my list, but I loved Ice-T's metal band Body Count. The fact that they could show, not only give you the lyrics to give you a glimpse into their world, but the videos gave you something to see as well. And sometimes just being able to kind of see something, you're able to understand it. You can relate better than you would by just necessarily listening to the song, which is what makes stuff like that so powerful.
Yeah.
All right.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
All right, so I will go on with my next choice here. It's a song from Alanis Morisette called Ironic.
I've heard that one.
Yeah. Isn't that ironic? Hey.
Don't you think?
Yeah. It's when her first big hit came out, You Ought to Know. I didn't care for it at first. It was just, my initial reaction was probably a typical of every other guy at the time, like, how dare she, type of deal, just not thinking about what she was trying to say, but just, there's an innocent beauty to that song that I like. The video is great as well. I mean, I love the fact that that her origins started on one of my favorite TV shows as a kid. You Can't Do That on Television.
Oh, God. That's a great show.
Yeah.
Man. Incredible.
Yeah.
Was she on the last season of the show?
One of the last few, yeah. She wasn't part of any seasons with, like, Moose or anything like that. But,
I think, I was a big fan of Alistair. So Alistair was one of my favorite characters.
Oh.
That show.
He was annoying. I hated him. But anyway, for kids that don't know. Yeah. For kids that don't know, You Can't Do That on Television. It was, when you see Green Slime promoted by Nickelodeon, that's where it came from. That's the direct influence. It was Nickelodeon's first big hit, and it was a Canadian kids variety show that was initially started, I believe, by Ruth Buzzy, one of the original cast members, who was also on a variety show in the 80s called Laugh-In. So kind of a unique thing there. But again, Ironic. Just a beautiful little video, and what I love about Alanis Morisette is how she's able to, through her lyrics, through her videos, kind of, again, give you that glimpse into her world. You can relate to her struggles. And it's funny with You Ought to Know. I'll bring it up here. I guess before that album hit big, she was dating a guy by the name of Dave Coulier, who, if you're a fan of Full House, was Uncle Joey. And rumor has it that You Ought to Know was written as a response to the breakup that she had with Uncle Joey. So keep that in mind when you're listening to that song.
I'll never forget it.
All right, next one.
Tom Petty songs are great to me, all of them. They're his music video with the Alice in Wonderland, the Don't Come Around Here No More, is a terrifying music video. It haunted me. My wife and I have talked many times about how scary it is that he eats the Alice character at the end of it. Let me paint you a picture for
the cake.
Yeah, the cake, right? So this gal is portrayed as Alice. She falls into this Tom Petty wonderland, and Tom Petty's the Mad Hatter wearing like tiny Tom Petty looking sunglasses, and just weird hallucinogenic inspired things happen where his hat gets bigger and his glasses get smaller and his glasses get bigger, and then they start eating the cups, and then there's just like smoke everywhere and more weird stuff, and somehow she ends up a cake and she's on the table, and the end of the music video is Tom Petty laughing over eating this girl's like cake body, and she's like, it's just her hands and the head coming out of the cake platter.
Nothing suggestive about that at all.
I don't know. Well, okay, I see what you did there, but it's just as a kid though, it's very scary. You don't like Tom Petty in that music video.
He's the villain.
Yeah, he's the Mad Hatter. So it's a great song.
Don't come around here no more.
Don't come around here no more. Yeah, it's a great song.
All right, what's your next one, Noel?
My next one, Eurythmics, Sweet Dreams.
Oh, I had that one too.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It is good.
Annie Lennox with the short hair and that synth bass line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember hearing the song on the radio and then seeing the video. Yeah. And what was also cool was those, a lot of videos with English artists were really big and different. And then the way it was shot, kind of soft, diffused. I think it's a better word for that. Yeah, that's a great video. Big song.
Yeah, that song's great.
Yeah, great singer too. If you get a chance, what I would recommend people do, it is on YouTube, find a duet that she did with David Bowie at the Freddie Mercury tribute concert. Their cover of Under Pressure.
Yeah,
damn amazing.
Yeah, that's a great tribute concert to watch.
I remember it playing on MTV. I watched it from start to finish. Amazing day.
Did you guys hear them? There's that Marilyn Manson cover of
that.
The Eurythmics on.
That was good too.
Also very good. It's surprisingly good.
It took it to completely different levels, but that's one of the few times that somebody covering a song actually made it their own, and which makes cover songs better overall. But yeah,
it's a great pick.
All right, my next one was from '82, I believe, from an album called Creatures of the Night. It's I Love It Loud from Kiss.
Oh.
Yeah, their last album in makeup in the 80s. The previous album that they did was horrendously bad, called Music from the Elder, when Kiss thought that, they could make their own version of Tommy and, just put out this horrible album. They put out Creatures of the Night as essentially a return to form, but due to band members leaving and just the public essentially being sick of Kiss at this point, it didn't get the coverage it deserved. I just love the video for just being silly. I mean, it opens up with suburban wasp in their home just eating dinner, and then the young son, after the drum beat kicks in for the song, which dominates the entire thing, he gets up, he has a comb in his back pocket, so he's a rebel, and then he sits there and watches the Kiss video, and just Kiss being ludicrous, loud, being silly. Again, not the greatest band in the world, but if that's one of your first intros to rock music, you can't go wrong.
Mm-hmm. No, you can't go wrong. Kiss, not at all.
No.
Not at all.
No. Speaking of 80s bands featuring men who are wearing a lot of makeup, I think we should talk about the Twisted Sister video. We're not going to take it. Okay, there's a lot of things I could say about it. I think so. I mentioned earlier how a lot of these videos, I was a little too young to see a lot of them, but I was watching them when they were like I Love the 80s sort of time, and Dee Snider was one of the hosts of that show, I believe. He's pretty standard on that I Love the 80s portion, and so I remember seeing like his video in that context, just talking about the impact of it from like the early 2000s, early aughts. And I rewatched it, and it's got like a really good message. It's just about like, you know, listening to the kids, and there's that. It opens up with a dad who's just yelling at his son about rock music, and. Yeah, and he's like, the dad's like spitting, and then his son like spins and turns into Dee Snider wearing his full face, and he's like singing at the dad like, we're not gonna take it anymore now. It's just great. And then he turns, Dee Snider's magic turns all the other kids at the dinner table into the bandmates, and then they kind of they push through the dining room door, and every time the dad tries to open the door, another like weirdly like dressed like colorful man with full makeup walks through the door again, and it's so funny.
Oh boy,
it's great.
Wow, yeah,
it's a great video, and I think that you know, his whole message during that song, and probably throughout most of his career, it sounds like, is just, hey, listen, like, this was good art that was letting kids feel inspired to create and to feel bold and to not hold people back and to get in touch with your feelings, which is, I think, a good message.
Yeah, speaking of that song, I recommend this Swedish acoustic group that their whole shtick is that they do covers of metal songs, but they do it in such a way, I mean, it feels original, and they're called Hell Songs, and their version of We're Not Gonna Take It is pretty damn good.
That's good?
Yeah, I mean, I recommend that and their version of Thunderstruck from AC/DC. If you did not know that these songs were originally written by and performed by metal bands, you know, you would just appreciate the songs for what they were, and that's why I love that group overall, is the fact that, you know, for, you know, metal that, you know, routinely gets dismissed as, you know, just being silly, you know, there's a lot of good writing in that.
Yeah.
So, all right, what's your next one, Noel?
My next one, well, how could we not do a video show 80s and 90s and not mention Aha's Take On Me?
Yeah, we should talk about that.
Yeah, if you can't bring up Thriller, you gotta bring up that video.
You gotta talk about Aha.
I mean, the first time I saw that, come on, that's an incredible video. Mixture of, you know, live action with animation, and the way the camera pans around when she's looking at him coming out of the comic book and brings her in. I mean, that was great.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I watched that one as well recently, and it is really cool, and it's a great song too.
Yeah.
What a falsetto!
Still stands. Yeah, still stands.
And trying to hit some of those falsettos. My throat hurts thinking about it. All right, my next one. I was introduced to this song thanks to Beavis and Butthead. Thunder Kiss 65 from White Zombie. Just a trippy song throughout. To this day, I don't know what Rob Zombie's singing other than, you know, Thunder Kissing 1965. It's just...
Oh, I know this one.
Yeah, it's, you know, visually, it has like a nice little grindhouse feel to it, which I didn't even know what grindhouse was at the time. I believe it's either El Santo, famous masked wrestling Mexican luchador, or a ripoff of that, because El Santo in the 70s did movies that were considered grindhouse type of films, which, you know, once you see the direction that Rob Zombie went with his career as a film director and everything, you know, you see the seeds of what he became in that video alone. But it's just one that, even if you don't like metal music, you're sitting up and you're standing up, you're dancing, you're having fun.
It's a good pick. When was that put out?
93, 94.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Let's do... I'm going to pick another one from my list. Let's talk... So I mostly play acoustic music these days, and this song was a song that I just remember as a kid, Extremes More Than Words.
Oh, God.
I think it's such a hysterical song. And it's just, again, an example. I remember the video with black and white, two guys singing, and just metal dudes just getting real emotional, and it's my favorite.
No, it didn't work.
Yeah.
My sister loved that song.
Yeah. In this scenario, I'm Tim's sister. I did love that song.
There's much. I don't know. There were bands like that. There were bands like White Lion that had a one-hit wonder that was just a ballad that was just bad, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then Gary Cherone, of course, the lead singer of Extreme, had a cup of coffee with Van Halen when he did a Sammy Hagar impression for that entire album, which is unfortunate. But
I really hope in my lifetime they either do like a movie or a documentary on Van Halen.
Oh, yeah.
Get everyone to just come out and talk about it. That would be crazy.
Oh, I showed the video Hot for Teacher to my 12-year-old. And he was bored. He didn't care for it up until the point where the teacher rips off her clothes and starts doing a table dance for the kids.
I remember that.
And his response was amazing. It was like, oh my God. And, I immediately had to tell him, I was like, would you learn more in school if your teacher did that? And, but just some of the stuff that, Van Halen would get away with in their videos back in the day, and, the fact that they named an album Fuck. A wacky band. Anyway,
Hot for Teacher is such a cool track musically because they do that double bass stuff, and to make it sound like the motorcycle is really cool. They did a lot of good stuff. I agree. They should do a documentary about that band.
Yeah, but I don't want to hear Eddie Van Halen or Alex Van Halen just being bitter for 2 hours.
Yeah. Oh no! You gotta hear some Sammy, and you gotta hear from David. I actually got Sammy's book. I think it was called Red Hot Rocker, and he just you can. I mean, he just talks about how him and with Eddie and Alex, but he always said, listen, Van Halen is those two. We're just extras. That's Van Halen. It's Eddie and Alex and stuff that he talks about going through with them, like the whole. He tells a story about the Cabo tequila.
Yeah.
So Sammy, before he came, I'll just to say, we don't want to go through too much of the book, but if you get it, he runs through all of that of how before he joined Van Halen, what he was going through, and leaving the band, and talks about that. It's a tragic rock story, but for a band that I think all three of us grew up listening to. I remember getting 1984 on cassette and listening to that album, and then the other back hard rock albums of Van Halen were incredible. It's really good stuff. So, you should read Sammy's book. It has about that. That's a good book that's a nice book to have on your shelf. But, Hot for Teacher, it was ahead of its time. It really was.
And the great thing about Van Halen that I like to, before we move on, is the fact that even though they did replace the singer, they didn't try to continue on with the same type of songs that they did with David Lee Roth. It essentially did become another band with Sammy there. The songs they did with Sammy were of a different variety that would not have worked with David Lee Roth. And, the few live tracks that you have of Sammy singing David Lee Roth era Van Halen songs just don't work. So, to their credit, they were able to sound different, unlike a band like Journey that just looks for, hey, he sounds like Steve Perry, let's hire him, yay!
Yeah, so the book is called Red by Sammy Hagar, R-E-D, because he was known as the Red-Headed Rocker. So that's the name of the book if you folks want to really, it's a really good read, and if you're a big, 80s, 70s, 80s, rock head, and especially the stuff behind the scenes of those bands, it's a good it's also a very good autobiography, too. It's a really good autobiography.
Yeah, I'll check it out.
And with that, another episode of Friends Talking Nerdies into Books. We thank you all for listening. This is Tim Jasma. Remember to tune in next week as we continue our conversation on 80s and 90s music videos. We will see you then.
smash. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, kick him. Ooh, yeah. Hey, yeah, crash.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Hit him.
Oh, you pissed him off now. He's
Kick
gonna
his
kick your
ass.
ass. Yeah. Slam him in the nads. Ooh, yeah, crash him.
Stomp the crap out of him.
Hit him, yeah. Okay, yeah, hit him in the head. Yeah, kick him. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. He's a real American.
Yeah. He fights for what is right.
Yeah.
He fights.
He's like a good role model because he just like did whatever it took to get big. Like he took those steroid pills.
Oh, yeah, those things you shove them up your butt when you have hemorrhoids.
No, Beavis, those are depositories. These are these pills that make you like all big and strong, but then they like make your nads shrink.
Whoa, what's the point?
Yeah, really. It's like, I may be only like above average strength, but it's like, at least I haven't messed around with my nads.
Yeah, really.
Train, say your prayers, eat your vitamins.
What?
Be true to yourself, true to your country. Be a real American.
Homework sucks.
Subscribe to Friends Talking Nerdy on iTunes, the Google Play Music Store, as well as Spotify. Remember to support Friends Talking Nerdy on Patreon. Goodbye, darling.